morning, gentlemen. Today is Friday, March 7th, 2025. I'm at the Knox County Commission chambers at the Knox County Courthouse. I'm Echo Menges for the Edina Sentinel. You're looking at, on your left, John Greenlee, the Eastern District Knox County Commissioner, Senator Leslie Cardwell, presiding Knox County Commissioner, and on the right, Bill Wiles, Western District Knox County Commissioner. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm shooting from the hip today. I just came in to do an update on what's going on with you guys, what's been going on kind of over the last month.
We went to CCAM, we got our trainings. We are all official now, I guess. That was a kind of a big thing for us, especially John and I being new and getting to meet a lot of other people and listen to Attorney General speak and a few different representatives. It was good.
What does CCAM stand for?
County, go ahead, Les.
Go ahead.
County Commissioners Association of Missouri.
Okay.
So there was, what did they say, 340 some commissioners throughout the state of Missouri, and we all get together once a year for a training. And
Can you just give like a quick overview of the types of training you received? Was it just like one hunk of training, or was it?
no, there was several different breakout sessions along with different by different people and different organizations, I guess would be. Where's my sheet? So I know, like, we attended one that was like County Leadership and Public Health Partnership. I think we all did the emergency management portion of it. I know Les went to some different ones. I went to update on marijuana in the Missouri workplace and the opioid settlement funds. So they just had people that work in the office that handle the opioid settlement funds and distribution, and they gave some presentations on how and what you can be using that money for, and what money has been coming in and what money's continuing to come in. So that was something that kind of interested me and wanted to learn more about and find out what we can use those funds for and how to benefit our county. That's a problem. But there was a whole bunch of different ones, and we all went to some different ones. We went to some of the same ones, so we all were kind of getting a little this and that, and then they have several different businesses, engineers, and companies that like
Sponsors.
CAT and sponsorships that are there, and you talk to them in the evenings and they try to sell you stuff or show you what they got to sell or whatever, and so.
Kind of like a trade show type
Kind of,
component
Yeah.
where they set up.
Yeah, I think that helps a
displays.
lot with the paying, the cost of it and everything, but, yeah, we had a good time overall, I'd say, and
also
learned quite a bit.
One about Senate Bill 190.
Yeah, went in and listened to about the senior citizens tax credit, Senate Bill 190, and how it affects our county, and, several different ones about there's a lot of issues at the State House that people don't realize sound great, but it really affects county, budgets, especially in,
Especially the rural areas.
yes.
Use tax and food tax issues and
Income tax
Yes.
and the possibility of letting that go.
Yes,
you know.
yes, like I said, we all love to hear that and think of it, but it does affect the county budget. It's not rural, tight budget community like us. It affects us a lot. It's good. I think it's really good for the three of us to know what's on the horizon and to be keeping in that loop to try to protect us and to keep things that we feel necessary. You know, our roads are necessary, so we have to find funding for them and figure out what we're going to do and try to keep ahead of that. So it was good.
So good meeting. So when was it?
It was February 26th through the 28th.
Okay.
So last Wednesday,
So
Friday,
last week, yeah, we were going.
And where was it at?
Lake the Ozarks at Margaritaville Resort. So
The old Hantera.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, I mean, is there anything you want to add about the CCAM meeting?
Excuse me, not really. It's mandatory for the three of us to go. One of the biggest things we get out of that is the networking with the other commissioners. It's amazing when you go down there, and especially as new commissioners, to be able to talk to the other county commissioners and see what problems they're having and find out how they're solving those problems. And, but yeah, it's very informational. A lot of it's dry, but there's some of it you really pick up on. Was very impressed with Andrew Bailey. Very impressed with,
What he's done and how he's handling things.
yeah, just him as an individual, him as not only as his title, but as a man. And so I was very impressed with that. It does seem, talking to the other county commissioners, a lot of counties are not in the financial shape that we're in. Our county is actually in pretty good financial shape. Some of the counties that's taking on big bond issues and all this different stuff are struggling, especially when they're looking at substantial couple tax referendums. The sales tax on food, they're talking about eliminating that. That's going to affect our county a lot, but when you get into the bigger counties where they're talking about, one of the commissioners we ate dinner with down there had a $54 million general revenue budget. So, they start cutting that.
Must be nice.
Yeah. And so it is kind of amazing. Some of the smaller counties are in real good shape, and then some of them are not. But Knox County is in good financial condition. We're prepared as best we can be. So
Our problems aren't as big as a lot of them.
Yes.
yeah, and we're just in better shape. Our bottom line's better. So anyway.
It was really good meeting the other commissioners, especially we spent a lot of time visiting with our counterparts from Memphis and from Adair County and Shelby County. Clark, we spent a lot of time with the guys that or gals, either one, that are all around us that are dealing with the same issues on some level, as we are. Some are a little bigger than us, but it was real good for us to get to know them and have some contacts to be able to reach out to and ask some questions being new, and so it was a good time.
There were
Nice.
several new commissioners down there.
Yeah, it was
Probably a
surprising.
third of them.
Yeah, I would say an easy third or more was all new commissioners to the state. So, and a lot of younger people too joining. Or that were elected. So I'd say big changes in Missouri.
Huge. Okay, interesting that you went to the emergency planning sessions,
Mm-hmm.
because I think we probably need to make plans to discuss reigniting the Knox County LAPC,
Mm-hmm.
which has been defunct for a number of years. Did you get to spend time with the Scotland County Commission while you were there?
Mm-hmm.
Because the last meeting we had, Merck came in and kind of lumped us together with them. So we'll need to coordinate with them to get something figured out. But just as a reporter and a member and a person who breathes there and lives in the county, I think it's probably high time that we need to revitalize emergency planning, updating the things that just need to, just
Yep.
tick the boxes that need to be done so we can have solid.
Well, and if nothing else, we need to be finding out about, there is several people that I get letters because I'm still the emergency management director, but I am
Mhm.
not the head of the Knox County LAPD. I don't know that I couldn't be, but I prefer to not be. And at the meeting that we had, there was a newly elected person to be in charge of that, and so I've been trying to defer most of that to them because that's their position, not mine, and I don't want to overstep. or
Through the
anything.
state?
No, I mean with our local LEPD, when we had our meeting, with Merck, they picked a new president and voted.
Who's resigned?
Oh, okay.
over the last several months has resigned from that position. So that's kind of left us.
Okay, that's the first I heard of that.
The last official meeting we had was with Merck,
Yeah.
who was gonna, you were there, who was
Yeah.
gonna, you know, come back and kind of lead us through the
Mhm.
process, and then it got off the rails and it's never returned. So
Yes. Okay,
this
now
might
that I know that, I will take a more active role.
this might be a situation where we just need to
I'll get a hold of some people and try to.
re-engage the wheel and, if nothing else, figure out for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what that looks like, but I just want to kind of put that on your
It's good.
back burner
Appreciate
or thing to be thinking about.
Yeah.
This is something that's circling. We should probably put some time and energy into it. Emergency
Yeah.
planning.
I agree.
And now that we're partnered with Scotland County, just see where that goes, or see if that's gonna be feasible.
Yes.
So they've got some Javi Gill, who's the Rutledge Fire Chief. I think
Mhm.
he would kind of be an obvious leadership role
Yes.
for that group. You know, there's a few others that you would be acutely aware of,
Mhm.
more so than me. So
Yes.
anywho,
Yeah, and we had a very good turnout when we started to try to get it going back up right before Merck came in. We had a pretty good turnout, and then we had a good turnout for our county at the next one as well when we did meet with them. So I know that there's a lot of people that are interested or willing to help, willing to be involved in that process. So.
maybe that's something that the two emergency management directors could put their heads together on, seeing as you're both county commissioners.
Yeah,
That might be some middle ground that we could find to lay
the groundwork and
a
get it there.
partnership, you know, to have it start at the top.
Yeah.
And then hopefully that could just trickle down to the rest of the emergency management and planning partners that need to be involved.
Yep.
Okay. I know we kind of left FEMA funding hanging in the air. I had a request for documentation on funds being released and all of that. I have not had time to circle back around to that. If you get your hands on those documents, please email me a copy of them.
I thought you were forwarded that document.
I have not seen it.
It
So,
was given to Marlene, and
okay, I'll stop in her office on my way out of here and just see. It could have got lost in, I've had a period of out of town and then illness, and so,
yeah, it was just about the time you were leaving.
okay, so that it could be just kind of it could be in limbo in my email at this moment.
But yeah, that document was signed and given to Marlene, and I thought she forwarded it to you. But we'll look for it.
It's okay, I can pop over when I get done here.
Yeah.
That's not something that's in my immediate, and then the only thing I really wanted to talk about today was the County Rock Match program, which you guys are probably
That's
Right.
Next week.
getting ready to launch off. Do you want to talk about that? As far as what it is, how it works, who's eligible?
Anybody, it has to go on the county roads. It can't be used for private. Anybody can come in and buy rock. It's 50-50. You buy one, we buy one, the county hauls it. You can designate where it goes, because that way if you have bad spots in your roads that need more rock, you can designate where the rock goes. It helps the landowners put the rock where they need it. When we go out to spread the other rock, the cart rock, then we have to spread it evenly over every road that we cover. So we can fudge a little bit, put a little more in the bad spots, but pretty much we're supposed to spread it evenly over the whole county. But this lets people come in, buy rock at a discount, get it hauled for free, and put it where they want it. And so it's been working out really good. It sells out. Usually we have a 3-day sign up. The landowners part 70,000. We're matching it with 70,000. It usually sells out in the first 2 or 3 days. I think the first year sold out the first day, which really helps the budget, because we get that done, pushed into the rock budget, and it lets them put the rock where they need it. That's the biggest advantage to it. And you can put it on any road in the county.
Can you kind of talk about the benefit these participants are kind of on a countywide level? Because I know that we do have a number of absentee property owners who do not participate in anything extra for roads, bridges, things like that. And so kind of the weight of keeping extra rock on roads kind of falls on the people who are here using them the most. Is there anything you want to say about that as far as?
What I would say about that is not as one-sided as I thought it would be. We have people from all over. One guy was from Vermont or something that was coming in here trying to buy it over the phone, which we require them to pay for it when they sign up for it. But the non-local landowners do participate more than I would have anticipated. So, but yeah, there's no way, we don't have a way to force them to participate, and we don't have a way, there's local ones that never participate either. So it's that is not as one-sided as I thought it would be. We definitely get participation from resident and non-resident landowners.
I think it's interesting that, because the Rock Match program has been going since, before my time. And so it's a good way for the county to help support those who are paying in extra, more than just their property taxes,
Yes.
to support.
There has been a rock program on and off, but there was no rock program when I got here. That was one of the things that we started in 2023, was the first year recently for the rock match program. There was no rock match the year before that. I'm not sure how far you have to go back, but it was something that we put back in place when I very first got here, so that people could participate in the rock match program and put the rock where they wanted it. But in 2022, there was no rock match program.
Right, prior to that, though, I think the first year I came in back, and these are old times now, back in the days of Pete Mayfield.
Right.
Every
There was a
commission,
rock match program. and
every
then they-
commission
and then
that
they
I've covered
ended
have
it
had
for
a rock match program.
There's just kind of a lull period there that didn't have it, so.
And it really kind of differed, how much was able to be put into that.
One of the things, going back to the rock and the program, last year in 2024, we spread 169% of the rock that was spread in 2022. We almost got half the county last year, which was a goal when I got here, was to go from 1/3 of the county getting rock a year, so that he was only seeing rock every third year, to get back on a rotation where we see rock every second year. Last year, with the 169% of rock hauled, we almost got half the county. It's just a little bit out of our reach. For part of the county that will for sure get rock this year is the remaining part of the northern 1/3. You can look at the map, and it shows above that green line, everything that's not been highlighted did not get rock last year, but we did get over several of the roads in the northern 1/3.
Kind of the northwestern portion of the county.
And then
Still
The
needs,
green line is where they
Mhm.
separated it in thirds. And then what's not highlighted is what's left to be rocked this year on the third part of it, where it should have been all of this, but they got ahead last year.
Yeah,
So
everything
Nice.
that's above that green line was ahead of progress. We're that far ahead of
Yeah,
progress. One of the other things that's gonna happen this year, depending on how the appeal goes.
Here, scoot
we're
back a
looking
little.
at-
Scoot back. Okay, so that's the green line. And all of this yellow is extra. Okay. And then this has already been done.
yes, that one was done, the middle was in 24, the southern third 23. And so then this one would be.
We'll
what
finish
it would
this out and then start back down here.
be. Yep.
Okay.
that's our intention.
Nice visual aid. Helps when making a video.
Yes.
One of the things that's gonna affect the rock this year is with our FEMA that we've been approved for work to be completed, we're looking at approximately another $150,000 worth of rock to be hauled into that northern 1/3 where we had the storm damage. So we've got a lot of rock to haul this year. So whether we'll get to that, back into that southern part of the county or not is a little bit unsure right now, but
And one of the perks of ordering rocks through the county is, do you guys have a tax abatement? You don't pay taxes on
We give
it?
it a discounted rate
And
as
a
well,
discounted
that can
rate.
save them quite a bit.
So it's quite a bit more bang for your buck. Not only are you getting two for the price of one, but you're
Cheaper rate and you're not paying. any
exempted
more.
from all of the taxes and hauling and all of that. Okay. No wonder you sell out so quickly.
Yeah.
Is there anything you guys want to add about?
Going back to the FEMA, we did a couple weeks ago, we signed off to where regional planning, out of Northeast Regional Planning, they'll be handling all of our FEMA paperwork, all of our FEMA
Documentation.
documentation. They're
processing.
gonna work with us to help us on how to do the documentation going forward. As far as when the rock gets hauled, there has to be accountability for every dollar that we get, and so they're gonna be taking the lead on handling all that for us.
Okay.
We all felt that was a very good decision to do, and to let people that do it for a living and know what they're doing, handle that kind of thing of it, and let
Do it
us
all-
do what we do and let them do what they do is the smartest thing for the county.
And then, are they getting a percentage of that, or do they?
they get an admin fee from the federal government. It doesn't cost us. The federal government pays an admin fee.
Nice.
But one thing I'd point out that, just so you said they'd be doing all the paperwork. This is what I put together in the last 3 days that they're requesting. So, they will be assisting. A lot of, we have to keep the records, they'll be filing the documents.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's a lot of paperwork to get the work completed. The grant process is through. Now we gotta go through and do the work and document it and get reimbursed for it.
That's exciting knowing that they've got Bettina on deck over there, and she's got a long history with county.
And
Government.
That's one reason we went with them, because she's had experience doing all that, so.
She's more than experienced. She's accomplished.
I mean, she's
very
done it
knowledgeable.
previously and knows how to
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
do the
Oh yeah.
process, and is already doing it for Scotland County, so, should be a thing for us. Just
Well, that's exciting.
Yes.
That's exciting. That feels like a layer of protection for the county. Just having someone who has a lot of experience dealing with something that's familiar rather than just trying to have to figure it out every
Yeah,
time.
have to feel your way through it.
Mm-hmm.
Couple more things I would point out, just from, we completed our budget for this year and was able to get the final numbers for last year. Talking about hauling 169% as much rock. In 2022, the fuel was 192,000 and some change. In 2024, we did that with $110,000 worth of fuel. So fuel is about I looked it up, somewhere between 5 and 10% less today than it was in 22. But when you look at how much more rock we hauled with $80,000 less fuel, we're a lot more efficient than we was. The debt is one that I want to put in here as well. Road and bridge debt from the end of 22 was 653,000. At the end of this year, our debt, road and bridge debt's down to 261,000. So when I was talking about the county being in a lot better shape than a lot of counties, we paid off 392,000 and some change in debt in the last 2 years. That does not include the courthouse debt. The debt on the courthouse will be paid off this year. So when I go back to where we're at compared to other counties, shape because of some of the stuff that's been done. General revenue, from 23 to 24 was almost a flat line, as far as revenues coming in, but we're still making progress with the same amount of money. We've renegotiated our health insurance. We've, took $12,504, I think, off of our phone bill. We're doing some stuff that's putting us in a lot better shape going forward. And it's the stuff that puts us in a position that if they do cut revenues, we're gonna be okay no matter what.
Back to the courthouse debt, because I can't remember how long our bond issue was on the sales tax for the courthouse improvement. Once you get that debt paid off, will that end was it a sales tax?
Yes.
And was it a half cent?
I think it's a half cent. I think it ends in October or November of this year. It'll end this fall. When we make the last payment, then that tax stops and it'll come off the sales tax. Now, that's a question that we
huge.
really haven't looked into to see if it comes off that day or at the end of the year or when it comes off. But we make the last payment, then that tax will stop. So
Let's stay on top of that. If you can remember to keep me mindful of that, we'll keep touching base with that, because that's going to be huge with our kind of attractiveness to residents and businesses. I was just at a community meeting in Sullivan County earlier this week where they're talking about a half-cent sales tax increase for 40 years is the length of this. And it's interesting to see, especially in our region, the kind of climbing of sales tax. So I don't know if it's something that you guys are interested in, kind of dropping Knox counties to a degree that would make it more attractive than our neighbors. You know, so maybe that's a conversation. Think about it, and we can have that at a later time. You know, that could be an interesting economic angle for a story in the future. Just saying, you know, looking at some of the other, because one of the things they're looking at in Sullivan County is even going up that half cent, which will put them up over 8. They're still lower than their neighboring county, which is Adair, which is possibly one of the highest in the, possibly the highest in the region. And so, I mean, we've seen over the last decade a lot of these things kind of add everybody up into that 8% region, and it will be interesting to see what dropping back down into this low 7s, if that could be a benefit. You know, regional planning would be great. People to talk to about the perks, you know, the benefits and drawbacks of aiming for something like that.
a few more things I got this stuff I'd like to point out, but road and bridge repairs. Last year we spent over $200,000 on bridge repairs. This year's budget's got $230,000 budgeted for bridge repair replacement. We've got an application in through the federal government to possibly replace 4 bridges on one grant. This year's budget includes, I believe, $300,000 for new equipment that we was able to come up with. Last year's road and bridge budget ended with a positive balance of over $500,000. Once again, that was up from $80,000 at the end of 22. So we're taking big steps, going in the right direction. Hopefully we'll be able to rebuild more bridges. We got it on our agenda to talk about. We've been working on the railroad bridge up here since they closed it. They closed the railroad bridge on Boxcar Loop. We've been continuously working with the railroad. Finally got some results, and so we got to decide what we're going to do up there. A lot of questions, but anyway, we're finally making a little bit of progress, and we've got several bridges that are deficient that need immediate work, and we got to start budgeting to get some of those bridges replaced. So the bridge down here in Clark's Bottom, we're spending money hand over fist. On Rebel Run, we're spending money hand over fist down there. The last invoice was almost $250,000. So you might go down there and take a look at that. They're coming along good. They've got the pilings. They're working on the concrete. They're working.
Okay. Yeah.
Seems to be coming right along on it. So
When is it projected to be completed?
What was, I believe, it seemed like it was August.
That's what I think it is.
Okay, so it's coming right up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's a short time in this realm.
Yeah, it's not.
It
they're not
doesn't seem
messing
like
around one
it's
bit.
sitting here in March, but
Mhm.
August we'll be in August before we know it. So
Yeah.
It's kind of frustrating to do the artifact study, takes longer than to build a bridge. When they-
what is the artifact
When
study?
you come in and look for Indian burial ground, you know, it's where they have to do all those studies to make sure we're not violating something we're not supposed to. But it's amazing how the paperwork takes longer than the actual construction. Cause this project was here, when I got here, it was already started before,
Yeah, they already said 5 years or something it's been going on. that they-
and to just keep going, and then once we finally get the contract, they're gonna build it in 6 or 7 months. So, that's kind of frustrating from where I come from, you just build it and move on. So, that's what we're into with all these bridge projects, once we decide that we've got the money, then we've got to start the engineering process, part of it, how do we get it built?
Do you guys have anything coming up on the municipal ballot as far as continuing taxes or anything of that nature? No. Okay. Okay. Awesome.
We became agri-ready.
I saw that we had it on the front page.
Yeah,
Couple
that's
weeks
been a
ago.
big deal for a lot of people. Were very happy about that, so that was something good.
What about the Cedar Lake properties? Do you guys have anything big planned for this spring or going
But
into
we're
the?
just in preliminaries of looking at what options and what we want to do, I guess. A lot for me has just been trying to get everything. Luther took care of, I don't know if people knew this, but Luther was who took care of the website for the reservations and getting the trash dumpsters there, getting the toilets pumped out. He was the guy that kind of took care of all that, so that kind of came to me now. So I'm trying to do the same thing and fill in those shoes, but figuring all that out was a process to get going, and so now we're finally getting to the point where the normal things are taken care of to where we can start looking at other options. The number one thing on the computer website that they'd like to have is internet at the camp areas. So that's very preliminary, just kind of an idea, but we have a lot of things to look at, costs and different things before we get to that point. But those are things where, we're open to looking at things, we're open to changing things, adding electricity, doing different things. We did just sign the contract, or we were accepted bids, Monday. We opened bids and got bids for the farm ground and the hay ground. So we got bids and they're very good bids and we accepted them, so that's in our minutes and that sort of thing, but that's good. We've talked a little bit amongst ourselves about maybe possibly in the future going to CRP ground on the lake instead of having farm ground and turn it back into more for wildlife. There's a lot of things you gotta jump through, and so we're looking into that. Maybe in the future, maybe not, never know. At this point, there's just, we're all got ideas, and we're just gonna start looking at each one and figuring out what we can do and what's best,
But also be sustainable.
but be sustainable, because the lakes have to sustain themselves to, it's just that's the end of it. But there's still a lot of things we can do and the lake still sustain itself, so we're all excited.
That's exciting because they're two of probably one of the biggest benefits the county has to offer as far as outdoor recreation is concerned.
Yeah.
So, okay.
I would add, I guess one more thing, I keep saying one more thing. The transfer from the two previous commissioners has been pretty much seamless. Bill attended several meetings before the end of the year. John attended a few, but these guys came in with ideas, which is a good thing we need, but they also came in open-minded, ready to go to work. To start out with one new commissioner to do the budget was a nightmare, but to start out with two, these guys really worked me hard. So, but no, seriously, it's been pretty cool transition. I like working with the other two commissioners. It's not that at all, but I think we're working good together.
Right.
We got ideas and we decide what we're doing about it.
Yep.
So, that's been pretty cool to have, that it's been fairly smooth and a lot of input, and they come into work, they're both digging in. So it's been pretty cool.
Yeah, I'll end on, I appreciated seeing you at our sunshine training bill as a representative, you know, of the commission. I thought the training went well. We
I
had
did too. Great turnout. Great turnout. I just thought that was impressive to have that many people show up from all over. I seen trucks out there from all over the state. It felt like I was like, wow, I was
and
impressed.
it felt really good to hear the director of Sunshine Law Compliance from Andrew Bailey's office
Mm-hmm.
say out loud, "This is the biggest training he's
Done
since he started," which is
Yes.
2 years ago. But actually, 2 years ago, our last sunshine training was even bigger. We broke it into two pieces this time, where we did one here in the morning, and then we moved over to Palmyra for the afternoon. So, and I feel like that really helped participants not have to travel as far. And I hope you got something out of it.
Oh yeah.
And then if you guys ever want to look at it, I recorded both trainings, just like I'm recording you now, and threw that on the Sentinel's YouTube channel, which, you know, it's roughly an hour 15, hour 20 of.
But it actually
teaching.
flowed. It wasn't. I will say that he did a very good job, because sometimes you go to some of them and you can catch your eyelids getting heavy, and you're just not. It's just kind of dry, and because it's a dry subject, all in all, it's not like it's the most fun thing. But he did a very good job of keeping it to where you were, wasn't just reading off a screen.
I tried to line people out ahead of time to be like, please bring a notebook, because you will probably need to write, it's a lot of
Yes.
information in a short amount of time.
Yes.
So,
And there was quite a few from the courthouse that were over there, and I was happy to see that. And some from the city councils and different things. I thought that was good that
Mhm.
everybody's trying to be on the up and up, learn and do the way they're supposed to.
all right. Well, thank you, gentlemen. I'm going to go ahead and shut this down. I'm Echo Menges for the Edina Sentinel with the Knox County Commission. And again, it is Friday, March 7th, 2025. Signing off for now.